Hello, my name is Lindsay Hartle, and in this video, I will be walking you through how I use the Assure model to design my addition unit. In this unit, students will be exploring many avenues of adding numbers together. Students will be using objects, pictures, equations, and many other problem-solving strategies in order to represent and solve beginning addition problems. Students will also be decomposing numbers to identify various ways to make the number 10. Students will be using technology throughout the unit in order to achieve these goals. By the end of the unit, students will have a concrete understanding of adding numbers and the relationship of creating larger numbers by putting together two smaller numbers. Throughout the unit, children will acquire the following skills: solve problems by acting them out, use objects and drawings to solve addition word problems within 5, use a drawing to find 10 from a given number and record the equation, solve addition word problems within 5 and 10 and record the equation, decompose numbers from 1 to 10 into pairs in more than one way, and record each decomposition with an equation. These will be known as part-part-whole relationships. The instructional design model I chose was the Assure model. In the Assure model, the following are the steps. A. Analyze learners. S. State standards and objectives. S. Select strategies, technology, media, and materials. U. Utilize technology, media, and materials. R. Require learner participation. And E. Evaluate and revise. In this video, I will describe how I use this model to design my addition unit. I will walk through the unit and describe what the unit consists of and how I plan to teach it. The first step is analyze learners. When creating this unit, I use the Assure instructional design model. The unit begins with analyzing the learners, getting to know how each of my students learns best, and applying various instructional strategies to meet the learning needs of the students. This helps them achieve the goals of the unit. Many of my students learn best through doing, so many of the activities I planned in this unit have them doing the math through various hands-on experiences. First, I will pre-assess students to determine what they already know about addition. I will then introduce the students to the new objectives via a Math on the Spot video from our Go Math curriculum. The second part of the Assure model is stating standards and objectives, which can be found in the unit foundation portion of my unit plan. The curriculum standards are from the Math Common Core. I have also added some NET-S technology standards that will also be implemented throughout the unit. These are the Math Common Core standards, and these are the technology standards for students. The next step of using the Assure model is selecting strategies, technology, media, and materials that will be used in the unit. I selected my materials based on my learners. The materials I selected were chosen to capture the interest and attention of my students. The materials include their Go Math workbook, tens frames, two-sided counters, connecting cubes, YouTube, Think Central, Math on the Spot videos, and various math apps. The fourth step of the Assure model is integrating technology, media, and materials. I have embedded various forms of technology throughout the unit. I will use the Go Math workbook to give students an opportunity to practice the skills we learn in class. This will serve as a good formative assessment throughout the unit. Students will also be using tablets during their time in math centers. While at the tablet center, students are practicing their addition skills that go along with our math curriculum. There is an app from our math series, and the students can practice problems exactly like the ones we work on in class. Keeping the content of the curriculum consistent is very important for young learners. I love how the technology provided from the Go Math curriculum does that for my students. Think Central is a website we use to work with online manipulatives. This is a great way to model a concept to students on the projector. Students also have access to this website at home, which I can use to assign practice for my students who have the technology available. YouTube is used in my unit for instructional videos. The videos provide catchy songs explaining the concept of addition. I introduce every lesson using the Math on the Spot videos provided by the Go Math Company. My students love this animated video series. They are always excited to see which characters will be in every video. Getting them hooked on the lessons is key in a successful lesson. Since my kiddos are very hands-on, I will be using many manipulatives such as two-sided counters, tens frames, and connecting cubes. Anchor charts will be used often in my unit. Anchor charts allow the students to become engaged in a think aloud. This allows them to understand the thought process behind addition and will also serve as a visual for students throughout the duration of the unit. I also create a website to help aid students when working on math at home. My class website includes instructional videos, content so parents can help their children at home using vocabulary that is consistent with the vocabulary we use in class. These materials will help capture and maintain the attention and motivation of my students. Using these materials, students will be engaged in cooperative learning, modeling, educational games, and instructional videos. The next step of the Assure model is require learner participation. In this step, students are practicing the skills they have learned throughout the unit. Their opportunities to practice include math centers and daily hands-on activities used in the instruction of the lessons. When students show what they know at multiple times throughout the unit, this gives me an opportunity to administer formative assessments so I can change instruction as needed. During these activities, I provide students with necessary feedback to ensure their success in the lesson. During math centers, students work with a partner to practice task-specific skills through hands-on games and activities. While the math centers are going on, I meet with small groups to differentiate instruction, which includes providing extra support for those struggling and enriching the learning of the students who already grasp the concept. We also complete many hands-on activities, such as the Spillet game. This is where the students are decomposing numbers and writing an addition sentence to match. My students love this game. These activities usually require a lot of modeling throughout the lesson. For this, I use the document camera and projector. The students also love playing interactive PowerPoint games, which are a good way to get the students up and moving while they are practicing key addition skills. Through the creation of anchor charts, students are participating in whole group discussions and collaborating with peers through the use of whole brain teaching. This allows students to become a part of the process of their learning, giving them the opportunity to become responsible for their own learning, which can be a very powerful tool in the classroom. The final step of the Assure model is evaluate and revise. After I have taught the unit, students are evaluated on the material presented. I will reflect on the effectiveness of the lessons presented throughout the unit. If certain lessons did not go as planned, these can be changed for future instruction. Questions I will be considering in this step include: did the learners meet the objectives? Did the media and materials assist the learners in reaching those objectives? I will answer these questions by looking at the result of the assessment as well as reflecting upon notes taken throughout the unit. Students are given a district-wide common assessment to show how well they comprehend the curriculum within the unit. I will also be looking at things such as, did the student show growth throughout the unit? If so, how much did they grow? And what can I do to ensure this growth will continue into the next unit? What were the strengths and weaknesses of the unit? By looking at the strengths and weaknesses, I will know which activities to include in next year's instruction, as well as what activities I need to modify so they can benefit my students completely. Also, I will have the opportunity to reteach those students who did not receive a passing grade on the assessment. After reflecting on the strengths and weaknesses of this unit, I can make changes before reteaching certain parts of the unit to my students. After all questions have been answered and considered, the instructional design process using the Assure model is complete. I usually like to have a little celebration of learning at the end of every unit to help build student confidence in working hard to complete new tasks and acquiring new information. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you learned a lot about how to use the Assure model.